Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, EQA Nostalgia here, and today I want to talk to you guys about Insurgency, the Socom mod specifically for Insurgency, also known as Socom Source. It's been a while since I've covered this game, and to be honest, I kind of was turned off a bit by the way that the movement speed works, and it just doesn't feel exactly like Socom. It's a bit sluggish. This is a mod, so that's something to keep in mind. I've told people before that this is not an exact recreation of Socom. It is, however, a work in progress, and it's very exciting to hear that Redline was recently employed by the devs. Yeah, the guy who was working on a mod actually got himself a job with New World, or New World Interactive, the developers of Insurgency. So he's on the inside now, and I think that's really exciting because that's going to give him access to the animations and the things where he can just kind of tweak the mod a bit more, so that he's going to be able to give us the run speeds that we remember. He's going to be able to tweak things like the health and all the little nuances that made Socom, things that people have complained about, you know. And this is something that it takes time, and I know people are really antsy, and it's just how people are. They expect things to be done and ready to go, but this is definitely a work in progress. So it's something that I am going to be revisiting in the future quite often. Now, right now, I just want to go through and name off the maps that are available, classic Socom maps that we all remember. Right now, we have Vigilance, Crossroads, The Ruins, Frostfire, Desert Glory, Fish Hook, Blizzard, Sandstorm, Death Trap, Abandoned, and Night Stalker. So a decent amount of maps there already, and there are more coming. Right now they are working on Requiem, or Requiem. I pronounce it Requiem, but I know there's tomato, whatever. Let's not get into specifics here, people. Requiem is coming out soon, and other maps are following, as well as the Mixer. I am really hyped to see the Mixer. It's one of my favorite Socom maps of all time. I also want to see Rat's Nest. Hands down, my favorite Socom 1 map. Well, I don't know if I could say that. It's got stiff competition from Frostfire, but I do love that map. What they did with Rat's Nest and Socom 2 pissed me off. Completely destroyed that map in my humble opinion. But nevertheless, I'm very excited to see these maps. And the maps that they have right now, they function very well. There does seem to be an issue of people getting hung up on doors, and I know Redline expressed an interest in widening those doors so that we don't have that issue. There are things that need to be worked out here, and I have to stress this. This is a work in progress. It started off as just a fan-made mod, and now Redline found himself employed by these guys, and I think that's really awesome. I mean, could you imagine working on a mod for something and then the developers give you a job and you're actually part of their staff? That is absolutely amazing. Redline, if you watch this, congratulations to you, man. I think it's really awesome, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do within the development team. Now, I'm going to get into a little bit of speculation right now, and this is just speculation. I have to make that known. On the Real Socom, we've got a post where someone was asking New World what they were up to. Hey, you guys, what are you working on? Pretty much is what they were asking them on Twitter. And they said that they were working on something else with a different engine, a different game. So maybe they're working on some sort of standalone style of Socom successor. I don't know. All I know is that we have shown them as a community, and Redline has shown them that there is an interest in tactical third-person shooters. This is apparent because when I first got into Insurgency, you had to join the group on Steam, and then it would download the folder. Now it's just there. It's just as soon as you fire up the game and you go to the multiplayer mode, the Socom mod is right there on their page. It's being proudly displayed, and it's gotten very popular. From when I first started playing, man, there was only a handful of guys playing. And I remember this, and now it seems to have gotten quite popular. And right now I'm going to take a bit of a shot at H-Hour. And I'm going to just go out there and say that the daily peak is destroying what H-Hour is doing. H-Hour is pretty much around something like, I think, 30 people on a daily basis. Something like that. I haven't checked the numbers in a little bit, but they haven't been doing that well. Right now we are looking at a 341 daily player rate. 1,053 weekly, 2,991 monthly players playing this game. So it's doing quite well, especially considering way back when I started, we were lucky to have 30 to, I'd say, maybe about 50 people when I first started getting into this mod. So it's growing. The community is very vocal over the headsets. You've got guys that are talking. They're being tactical. They're calling out enemy positions. If you're into that classic style of tactical shooters, this is something that you're going to be into. Now, as I've said before, this is not SOCOM. And I have to stress that because back when I played SOCOM, I was more of a run and gun type of guy. Yes, we had camping. That's kind of how it is when you have a single life game without respawns. But I was a little bit more aggressive. Being aggressive in this to me seems like it's much harder to do. Maybe it's just me, maybe I just suck, and I'm not very good at this game. I have to say that right away. I haven't played it a lot, and I do think that I will get better the more I play it. But yeah, I need more practice, and it seems to me like playing very strategically, slowly moving up, and just not run and gunning. I can't do it in this game. Maybe it's just me, like I said. Maybe I just completely suck. But it seems to me like it's a much more slower paced style of SOCOM. But that's okay because it's still fun. It's a very fun shooter, but it's not SOCOM. It's not there yet, and hopefully we can see that change now that Redline is in the inside. We need one of the biggest problems is that getting that run speed down. If you turn up the run speed with the current character models and the way that they look when they run, you're going to look like you're skating. Like it's not going to look right. So that was a main concern from Redline. They want to get in there and change those animations so that we can have a faster run speed. I personally want to see the run button just taken out completely, and I want to see things sped up significantly. I want to see a much more faster paced shooter come from this, and hopefully that's something that can be done. I also want to see the health values adjusted because you die really quickly. I die really quickly. People I shoot at don't die really quickly because I suck. But I do. I want to see the health tuned up a bit. I want to see that movement speed dialed into the classic SOCOM. I want to see those strafing battles that I know were not intended. I've been over this with people before on the real SOCOM. I know that strafing battles were not something that was intended when they created SOCOM. It's just the way that it came out, and especially in SOCOM 2 with that hit detection being so bad. And as a side effect, it just became something that we loved. We had extended gun battles. It was a little bit more tense. That is personally what I want to see. And that's just, that might just be me. Maybe some people think, no, it's great where it is. That's how it should be. When you get shot, you should die. It should be more realistic. To me, SOCOM was never really too realistic. It had more of an arcade feel to it, but it was strategic. It was a strange game. And, it wasn't Arma, let's be honest. It wasn't like Arma. It wasn't a military sim. It was much more arcade-ish, if you will. And I've had arguments with people over this in the past. I don't care. To me, it was much more of an arcade-style shooter, but it wasn't like Call of Duty arcade, where you're just running and sprinting over shit, shooting people in the face and getting kill streaks. It was somewhere in between, guys. That's how I look at SOCOM. Essentially, to me, SOCOM was that perfect balance between the realistic shooter and the just way too fucking casual blasting people in their face, 200 kill streaks, dropping nukes on people shooter. It was the perfect balance. It was essentially the perfect shooter in my opinion, SOCOM 1 and 2 specifically. So I have to apologize if I'm retreading over ground that I've already covered in previous videos, but you guys have to understand that there's more of an interest for this now, so people that might not have seen my previous videos will be coming into this video hopefully, and there are things that I just have to discuss that I've discussed before, and that would include the sound. We are now seeing the music from classic SOCOM being implemented into the game. The announcer is there, all of the classic taunts and stuff seem to be there, so the sound is very SOCOM. That seems to be a theme across all of the maps that I've played so far. I'm not certain if it's in every single one of them because I have not seen every map. I do want that to change. I want to get in there and start playing all of the maps and see how they've turned out. Now, a few of these maps have been ported over from what Redline had done in the past with the Counter-Strike mod, the SOCOM Counter-Strike source mod. So those need to be worked on a bit, and I know that he's going in and he's redoing all of the maps over time. We do have a small team here. As far as I know, there are only 3 guys working on this right now, and I'm pretty sure they don't get paid for it. Any money that goes towards this, they do have a donation feature on their site. I'm pretty sure that's just to keep the servers up. So at this point, there is I don't believe there's any money coming in. But as I stated, he's been employed. So hopefully that will change things. Hopefully the monetization will be there for him to continue working on this. I don't know all of the specifics about the money, guys, and I don't even know if you can legally be paid for working on a mod for a game. I mean, these are things that are legally they're held by Sony, as far as I know. Coming out with an official game and having these maps as a standalone, I'm pretty sure would end up in a lawsuit really quickly. So this is something they have to be careful about. This is something Redline has to be careful about, and this is something that the Insurgency devs have to be careful about. This has to remain a fan project. If it doesn't, then we're getting into some hot water. But in the future, if they were able to make a standalone, something that was very SOCOM successor-like, then we would be able to make our own maps. You know what I mean? We'd be able to upload those as fans later on, and then they could have their own original maps to start with. And that's something that we'd be able to get away with. So hopefully they are working on a standalone. That's my hope. I'm really hoping that's something that they're doing, because as much as I like this mod, I would love to see a standalone. I would love to see something that's like, hey, look, third-person shooters, they're still a thing, and we want more of them. I want to see this get its own personal treatment. But now I want to hear from you guys. I want you to get vocal in the comments section. I've said this before on this channel. People need to interact a little bit more. I've got a lot of lurkers out there. They just watch my videos and then they take off. Stop. At the end of this video, stop for a moment and let me know what you think about this mod. Have you played this mod? Are you interested in this mod? Is there anything that you would like to hear me talk about with this mod? If you guys like this video, please remember to leave a thumbs up. If you're new here, I ask that you please subscribe. I thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in my next video.